My next guest I had the privilege to sit down with is not a stranger to the show at all. In fact, he was a guest in episode 49, Finding Your Voice to Live with No Regrets. Well, he is back. Why? Because Dem Bois Podcast has a new sound, a new song, and he is the independent artist who is behind that song. And so within this episode, he discussed his creative writing process, why he chose to come and create a song for Dem Bois Podcast. He also talks about the motivation behind some of his lyrics. And so this is a really great episode, but be sure to stay tuned right after this short episode to hear the song in its entirety. I hope that you enjoy.
Dem boys, yeah. Dem boys, yeah. Amplifying, transmitting color voices, yeah, we here making noise, yeah. Making noise, yeah. Visibility equals possibility, you know we them boys, yeah. Them boys, yeah. Amplifying, transmitting color voices, yeah, we here making noise, yeah. Making noise, yeah. Them boys, yeah. We them boys, yeah. Just consulted with a surgeon the other day. Told her I need to get some things out my chest. Like yesterday, she said okay. Here are some ways that you can pay.
Welcome to Dem Bois Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Aaron, he, him, his, and my next guest is an artist based in Tucson whose sound captures the essence of R&B, hip hop, and neo soul. He is also not a new guest here on the show. He was featured on episode 49, Finding Your Voice to Live with No Regrets. Marz Turner, aka MoLa Flo, is here to talk about the new sound that you can hear on Dem Bois Podcast. So welcome back to the show.
Man, glad to be back.
Yes, I'm so glad to have you back. So for folks who don't know, just give us a quick little snippet of who you are.
Yeah, again, my name is Marz, aka MoLa Flo. Originally from Winter Park, Florida. Living out in Tucson. Started off my music career out there. And pretty much I like to just talk about mental health, uplifting the people, uplifting us as a whole, talking about, introspecting, like looking within ourselves and how can we better ourselves to become, better people and better in society. So that's a lot what my music is about. Like it's real deep, and then it make you, nod your head at the same time. So you'll feel that,
Yeah, I love that. And so for folks that want to hear the song, you heard it in the intro, you'll hear it in the outro. But if you want to hear the full song, it's going to be a bonus episode following Marz episode, and you can hear the whole song in its entirety. And so I want to ask you, you were a previous guest on the show, episode 49, like I mentioned before. But what inspired you to want to write, create, and perform a song for the podcast?
I love what you stand for. I love the work you're doing out here and the connecting. I mean, I first found out from you through a friend. I was in the process of trying to get top surgery myself, and I had a friend who was well connected out in Tucson and out in Atlanta and just like globally just been doing their thing. And they plugged me with you, and I hadn't even heard about it before, but they plugged me with you, and I was like, oh shoot, this is awesome. And so when we talked and everything, I felt like we instantly like I just love the vibe. We was connecting, it was flowing, like it was natural. I'm like, okay, this person like is really on their shit. They know, what they're standing for, that they're genuinely doing this and trying to make sure they help every single Black or trans man of color. And so I wanted to get on board with that because like it aligns with, what I'm doing in my purpose. I feel like I'm big on community and educating one another, informing about resources, using resources, pulling within each other. And so I was just honored. I'm like, let's do it. And so when I wrote the song, I wanted to pretty much incorporate that in there. Like, just like I was just telling you, like I didn't know about the podcast, and then, somebody told me about the podcast, and I'm like, this is awesome. So I wanted everyone else to know about it too, through sound. Like music can speak a lot to people. It can really hit in different ways that, that's inexplainable. So I wanted to like write about that and share that and just create an anthem. Like, y'all need to know about them boys, man.
Yeah, I love that. So what was like your initial thought process going into writing the song?
So for a second, it was a lot. It was kind of, because I'm in grad school right now. And so trying to find time, that was like hard. But then when I allowed myself to, because I'm like, I be door dashing sometimes, and I be driving like from Phoenix to Tucson. And so on my rides, I'm like, let me just play the beat. I knew I had the instrument, We talked. I'm like, you like this instrument? Cool. We're gonna go with this one. Bet. All right. So now we got the instrument. We got the instrumental solidified. Now it's about me coming up with the tune to it. So my creative process is I listen to the beat, and then I know I'm okay, and then I start humming like a melody. And then once I lock the melody in, I fill in the words with that. Like once I got my melody, because I feel like the melody just allows me to like it's like a feel, like I'm feeling it. So now I need to just like, okay, what do I want to articulate? So that's kind of how that came about. I was just like, okay, let me feel the beat out. I got the melody down, and then I was able to go back in and say, okay, what is it that I'm trying to, what is the message I'm trying to express? Like, what am I trying to articulate? And that's when I came inside of my room. I was up, I think it was like midnight. Midnight, I just was up writing, man. I just was up writing, listening to the beat back and forth. And, of course, I share with you. I'm like, what you think about this? And I don't know. It just I was grateful. I'm always open to feedback. Of course, if somebody don't like it, I'm trying to get my point across with them and include the messages that we've discussed and things like that. It's like, okay, let me go redo that. But it was like it wasn't none of that. It was like I incorporated, I bullet pointed, what I wanted to discuss, and he was like, yep, that's exactly what what we want to talk about. We amplifying transmitting color voices. We speak in life, yes, okay. Then we keep it going. So that was pretty much my creative process. What I wanted to, I got the feel of it, feeling it, and then I was like what is it that I'm trying to articulate?
I didn't know I had you up past your bedtime. My bad. I didn't know you was up
Nah, man,
at
that's
midnight.
honestly how I'll be writing. To be honest, like if I my brain, like even I can have a long day of school. Like I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna set my routine, go to bed on time. I can't if my body's like, no, you need to be doing this. Then I'm gonna have to do it because I'm not gonna be able to sleep. So I was like, I had to just listen to myself. My body was like, no, you're not about to just lay down right now. So I was like, well, let me get up and play the beat and let me feel it out for real. So and it wasn't even a force. It was very natural. It was very comfortable. I just like I said, I've learned to be more in tune with my body and listen. If I can't sleep, what is the reason why I can't sleep?
That's a good point, to be in tune with your body and know what your body wants. Sometimes your body and your mind want to be in alignment. And when you got a lot on your mind, sometimes you got to stop and listen to that and kind of project that forward. I'm kind of the same way too. I'm not a morning person, but my best ideas come after 1 a.m. No lie. That's when
Yeah.
that's when my brain start working, in hours when everybody else in the bed, scratching their asses and snoring. I'm up thinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So speaking on some of the lyrics, so like, what does visibility equals possibility mean to you?
And if you can see it, you know what I mean? Like you can feel it. Like that's what we're here. You know what I'm saying? We're present. We exist. Like so, it's possible. You know what I'm saying? Like one of us is doing it. It's possible. You could do it too. Like that's how I see it. I see it as like, um, we were able to do what we needed to do to live in our most authentic self. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever way that looked like for us. And to me, that means like by us doing it, we're leading by example to inspire other people that you could do the same thing. It may not be right when you want it, but it'll happen. You work towards what it is that you desire, with whatever you feel that aligns with you. Then you work towards that. That's what visibility equals possibility mean to me.
Mm. And so, how important do you think amplifying transmitted color voices is?
Man, it's super important. Like there's it's so much. I'm trying to be very intentional with what I'm saying, but I'll just say like there's a lot of highlighting in other areas, and other people, and I think uh, people of color, period, people of color, period, and especially trans men of color, kind of get thrown in the background, and so I think it's important to amplify each other, like what is this other person doing? How can you get behind them and support them? What are they doing? Or if that ain't what you rocking with, okay, cool. How can you encourage somebody else in another way? You know what I mean? Like you don't necessarily we not all everybody's not always going to get along, right? But I think the key point of is just understanding. You know what I'm saying? Like understanding things or coming to a resolution. And it's important that like we speak for ourselves, not let anybody else control our narrative. Like it's important for us to share our stories. Otherwise, people will speak on us and think the way they think that we want to that the way we perceive something. And it's like, no, we have our voice, we're going to use our voice. This is how we, like, you can hear it from our mouths, you know.
Right, exactly. It's very important for us to tell our own stories because, and I always say we're not monolithic. We all come from different journeys. We got different backgrounds. And even across, even amongst Black folks or other folks of color within a certain, group of people, we all different. Like me and you, we both different, right? We both didn't have the same experiences. I'm a little bit older than you, so my generation, I probably had a different experience than you did, right? So it's very important that we tell our own stories, and whichever way is more meaningful for us. And your way to tell stories is through music and through lyrics, and just listening and just reflecting on some of the lyrics. I want to pull out some of the lyrics that I really like, and I want to ask you, like your thought process on that. Do you mind?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So in the beginning, you said just consulted with a surgeon the other day. Insurance said that I had to wait. How similar is this verse connected to your own story, your own journey?
Very much so. Like I said, when I write, I like to tell a story, and I like to speak on like my real lived experience or something close near me. So that kind of happened to me, and I was reflecting on that, and I was just thinking about how like someone was asking me about the process, like how do you go about top surgery and things like that, and so I was reflecting on those things and like, okay, how can I share this, kind of in a general sense where like people understand the process of it. And that was my process. Like I consulted with a surgeon, and I talked to the lady that was over the payments and the finance pieces of it. And she was like, "Oh, if you wanted to go through insurance, you'd have to wait and blah blah. You have to get this letter and do all this, like all this stuff." And I said, when she started listening off, I said, "Hey, we just gonna forget about that route. we just gonna toss that off to the side, and I'll figure out another way." Because once my mind, I don't know if I shared this last time we spoke too. Once my mind is on something, like it's on that. It's like it's go time. Like my eyes on the target. I'm making that happen. You know what I mean? So that was like, oh man. But I would say I'm very fortunate to that I had another option. That I had another way. But that's because that's not always the case for people. But I wanted to share that is very real. Like you consult with a surgeon, they're gonna say, hey, you need to talk to your therapist if you have one, your PCP. It's a whole process. It's not just like, okay, cool, you came in here, let's set a date and let's get it going. No, it's a whole process. Especially if you go about it that way. So that's what I wanted to like highlight. That was realness. And I'm like, damn, how did that make me feel? I thought about that and I was like, oh, I got to get this off my chest, girl. Like,
yeah, I remember when I first listened to it when you sent it to me, and I heard that part, and I remembered that from your story. And so for folks that don't know, go back and listen to episode 49. You actually did talk about that in episode of your process. And so I was like, I loved how you integrated your own transitional journey within the lyrics. And so that part was beautiful to me. Hey, this is Sean Aaron, the host of Dem Bois Podcast. Are you enjoying the podcast so far? Great. I'm glad that you are. Would you consider donating today to help support the continuation of this podcast? As you know, this podcast aims to serve as a platform to highlight and amplify the voices of trans men of color and share our transition stories. The podcast not only aims to amplify trans men of color voices, but it also raises awareness around our lived experiences. You would like to donate? Where can you donate? Great. I'm glad that you asked. Link in our description will take you directly to Network for Good, whom we've partnered with in order to collect donations for the podcast. Or you can visit our website. On the website, click the donate button, and from there, you are able to donate directly to the podcast. All donations are tax deductible. What does the donations go to? Oh, I'm glad that you asked. Your donation will help to support our production costs. We are working with Jasmine from Pink Lady Productions that brings you this awesome content. And also, we pay our guests an honorarium. Pay our guests an honorarium? Yes, we do. Why? Because as trans men of color, we would like to support and uplift each other and honor the time that's given out to come here and share their stories. So if you love this podcast, share and donate. See you on the next episode. Take care. So then your next lyric that I want to reflect on, it says, I do not feel intimidated by you. Why are you intimidated by me? What did you mean by that?
I was talking about anybody that's not a part of the LGBTQ, community. So, um, there's a lot of people who, especially like cis guys and, people that are just, uh, wanting to harm, trans folks. And it's like, why are you so angry with us? Like, we ain't worried about you. Like, we are not intimidated by you. We live in our own life. I don't understand why you feel the need to be so like um um envious or like hateful of us. Like I don't understand, so that's why I wanted to incorporate that in there. I'm like, why you into, because that's the way I think about it. I think you're intimidated for numerous reasons. Maybe you're intimidated because we are okay and accepting and living in our truth, and maybe you can't do that. You don't feel comfortable doing that, so you're projecting your feelings onto us now, and now you want to wanting to harm us. Or, I don't that's the that's the only thing I could really think of, is that you hate yourself. And um and that's why I wanted to like just emphasize that. I'm like, I don't know, can't you I'm not intimidated by you, so I don't know what you're intimidated by me for. I'm still gonna live, in my truth and who I am. So, that's for them to figure out, I feel.
Yeah, it is kind of hard. I mean, man, it ain't hard for me. I feel like if you're a person, whatever it is that you want to do in life, and it has to not even be trans related, it's like that has nothing to do
Hmm.
with me. This is your life. Live your life the best way possible. And I always feel like if somebody, that's that internal hate that you
Yeah.
have, or something you need to work on within yourself, and it's projecting outwards towards other people. It's like, do you, and I'm gonna do me, right? And just like you said
Yeah.
earlier, we don't all got to like each other, but we should respect each other enough in our own choices, right? Because we got free will to do whatever it is that we want to do in life. And so,
Absolutely.
yeah. And so, you also went on to say, protect our brothers, whether you get either surgery or not, we still gonna love you. How
Hmm.
important did you feel it was to mention that?
Man, super important, because I mean, even um I've been like going through the guests you had on your podcast, and going through episodes and things like that. And certain people was talking about, yeah, I'm getting, I feel comfortable getting this surgery and not that surgery, etc. Or they've expressed feelings around like, I guess like feeling pressure to get either or both. And I wanted to like show that, it's like you just said, we're not a monolith. We're not all going to have the same desires or the same experience. I mean, some people may just want top surgery. Some people may want both. Some people may not want it all, and either way, you're still validating who you are. It's not no, it's not like, oh, we're bullies. Hey, everybody got to do the same thing and do the same way, or else you're not a trans man, or else you're not non-binary, or else you're not, no, you're all who you are, and that looks however it looks to you. It's your experience, and so I just wanted to validate that, validate those feelings, because especially as it's been shared with me, it's been expressed to me when people ask and they're like, okay, what if I want to go about this, or what if I want to get top surgery and I don't want to start testosterone? Okay, cool. Either way it goes, like, it's your experience. You make it how it is. There's not no, do just like this, or you need to have facial hair to be considered a trans man. You don't have to. Like, all that is, it's all your preference. It's your life, and so that's what I wanted to emphasize.
I really like that you added that piece, because, like you said, none of our experiences is the same, and it doesn't make you more or less uh, a trans identified person, whatever you do or not to do, right? And
Hmm.
even with myself, I always wanted top surgery, and I didn't want T. So me wanting to begin hormone replacement therapy happened much later. Well, it happened before my top surgery, but the thought process of it happened much later. It wasn't something that I thought I was going to do, right? And so we find our own ways to do what it is that we need to do for ourselves when we figure it out. And when you figure it out, that's when it's the time for you, right? Um,
Absolutely.
and I want to say this is my favorite. This is my favorite line, so I'll save this one for last. You said, "Remember, we are souls wearing mink suits is nothing. Our bodies on a spectrum. It's that T-Man deluxe." I just love that.
Yeah.
I love that. What does that line just mean to you?
It's kind of going off what I just what I just was talking about, right? Like, it's a spectrum, you don't have to get this, you don't have to get that to be validated in your experience and your identity and who you are. And we come in all shapes and sizes and forms, you know what I mean? Like, but we are here. We're very real. We're very here. Um, and it's like when I said T Man Deluxe, I'm like, it's I always talk about it's beauty and just trans men. You know what I mean? It's this there's this whole nother level when it comes to understanding things. Um And so it's like a okay, you're attracted to masculinity, right? But this is a notch up. You know what I'm saying? Because we can understand the depths of certain feelings and emotional aspects, and then we also have that, that all around that masculine piece of it too. So um that's why I just feel like it's just another level being trans. And I just think it's so much beauty in it, it's so much beauty in it. And I think, and that's why I said that also line too, why you're intimidated by me, because I feel like, since guys, they know that stuff. They know they know. It's like, damn, you got a little, you kind of got one up on us. That's how I feel a little bit, and I'm biased. I guess I'm biased, but it's like, I just feel like, I just feel like, we're just beautiful beings, and, our souls, we're souls at the end of the day. Oh yeah, that's what I was trying to get on. I was like trying to pull back that line. Okay, so yeah, when I said we're souls wearing meat suits, yeah, we're souls wearing meat suits. Like, the souls really don't have no gender. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a soul. Like, and so whatever we feel like, um, it's not just, we're not just pulling it out of our ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's coming from something. It's coming, it's coming from energy. So at the end of the day, whatever, no matter what we look like, it's energy underneath all of this. So we're just embodying our essence. We're embodying our energy, and whatever that is to us, and what that means to us. And yeah, that was really the piece of that. I'm like, if you think about life like that, like, we really are just like souls in meat suits. Like, I don't know, you just think about things a little differently.
Yeah, we just here to exist, and this is the body that was given to us to move about in this physical form, right? And it's
Hmm.
like, and we given free will to do what it is, whatever it is that we want to do in this body. But I mean, that's how I feel you on that. That's why I say
Yeah.
that's my favorite line. Like, I really love that, and then getting that essence too, that you like, because we were socialized differently, so we do get some
Yeah.
of us. I'm gonna say not all of us, right? Because there are some trans
Hmm.
men out there that exhibit toxic masculinity, but
Hmm.
I
Oh,
mean,
absolutely.
overall we kind of get we kind of we you it's almost like getting the best of both, because we were socialized one way, and so you will see
Yeah.
sometimes women, well, I want to say, if you attracted to, okay, let me put it this way: a cisgender woman who meets a trans man, maybe even for the first time, and there's a different level of sensitivity to some of us because of how we were socialized, that most cisgender men don't get that same experience. They're not
Hmm.
allowed that same experience in life. And so it's a little bit different.
Right.
And so when I think of a T-Man deluxe, I think of like a deluxe sandwich at McDonald's. You know, that deluxe, you get that lettuce and tomato, you get that extra
Yeah,
stuff,
you get
right?
that extra. You get that
Yeah,
extra stuff.
yeah. Yeah. So it's just that much more delicious because you get extra. You know, so when I hear that line, that's what I think about. I'm like, oh, I'm a deluxe sandwich. Like, I'm like, you know what I mean? Hey, this is Sean Aaron. I'm the founder and executive director of Dem Boys Inc. I am also the host of Dem Boys Podcast. As you may know, Dem Boys provides financial assistance to trans men of color in order for them to obtain gender affirming surgery. We have great news. We're currently looking for volunteers to help support our programs. Our programs include our gender affirming surgery grant program and also our personal care package program. We personally curate packages filled with personal hygiene items. Just to name a few, things like tissue, soap, towels, toothpaste, and toothbrushes. We mail them out to trans men of color across the country who may be in need of help caring for their personal hygiene needs. We are looking for volunteers to help raise funds to support our programs. Also, we're looking for someone locally to the Bay Area to help us put all of the care packages together. If our mission is something that resonates with you and you would like to help support our work, just let us know. You can send an email to hello@themboys.org. That is HELLO at DEMBOIS.org. And we will get back to you with further details. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the next episode. And so I want to
Yeah.
ask you, so what is next for Marz Turner, MoLa Flo? What is next for you in your life and your career?
Thank you for that. So it is Thursday, September 26th, 2024. Um, Tomorrow, September 27th, I have a acapella EP dropping, consisting of 7 tracks, and it's titled Mantras. It'll be out on all platforms, and I'm working on that piece, and it's basically um hey, it's like a love note, like a letter, like a letter to myself, and to people out there, to just remember to love yourself. And some things I highlight is you don't have to prove yourself to anybody, and that you can overcome adversity, childhood trauma. You know what I'm saying? Like you can overcome those things. First thing is about recognizing them, being honest with yourself, and yeah. So I just did, I just embraced I wanted to do a acapella piece because I wanted to highlight my voice and my journey. You know what I'm saying? Like I had a very rough time when I first, after starting to start song, because I was going through a grieving process of my voice, my new sound. You know what I'm saying? It was beautiful and I was so like empowered in it, but it was like I also was so used to a sound for a long time, and I couldn't hit the same notes that I was hitting before. And I kind of got sad, and I kind of slumped into a little depression, and I had to shake out of that. I had to like I had to like figure out a way to like empower myself to be like, okay, no, how can you embrace yourself in this new and like in this new way now? Because yeah, you may not like hit the same notes that you could before, but now you got a new thing to play around with. It's like I explored it like an instrument, you know what I'm saying? And so I wanted to like do a cappella sound for like to show that your voice and your sound could be an instrument. You don't need a beat. You don't need a beat. Your voice have power. You know what I'm saying? Like use that. And so I'm really looking forward to just sharing that, like just throwing it out there. I don't have no expectations on how it's gonna go. I just want to get it out there, and whoever connect with and resonate with, I'm grateful for.
I love that. That's like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. Yeah, you was crawling on the ground for a bit, but now that you changed and you shifted, now you can soar and you can fly.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to think about it that way. You expanding. You got that experience down low, but now you can expand your sound a little bit more because you could, you can explore things that you was never able to explore within your voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
So you blossoming into something else, and I can't wait to see where that goes. And so,
thank you.
And so I want to end with this. So folks know that are listening, you don't, your artistry, you as an artist, you don't necessarily belong to Dem Bois. You are an independent artist, and you're not exclusive to us. And so what if somebody say, yo, that song that you did for Dem Bois, that shit is dope. How can I hire you, or how can I get you to do this for us, our organization, or for our group, or whatever? How can folks reach out to you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm connected, social media. You can follow me on Instagram at La Flo. So it's LAFLO _444. Again, that's LAFLO _444. And if you want to shoot me an email to discuss that stuff too, you can also email me at molaflo.music. So that's MOLAFLO.music@gmail.com. So that's how you can get in contact with me to discuss that. I love creating anthems. I love putting someone's like vision into sound, into frequencies, and turning it into a different vibration so that everybody else could just nod their head and be like, yo, what this guy going on? Okay, cool. So yeah, that's how you can contact me.
Yeah, for sure. And we're going to make sure to tag that in the show notes for folks that didn't catch that right away. You can just go click on the show notes and it'll be highlighted there. So I want to say thank you for just being a guest again, coming back and and sharing your creativity with us. For folks, hey, remember that song follows this episode. It's a bonus episode. Be sure to turn it up in your car. Be sure to bump it in your earphones. Share it with folks. Yo, you did your thing, and we really appreciate you up here.
Man, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, and I'm glad to be back. Feels like home, man. And you keep doing your thing, because, like I said, you inspiring me too. Like I'm grateful. Like if you didn't even have this platform, I wouldn't be able to do this for such a beautiful thing. So I'm grateful for you as well, man. Keep doing your thing.
Yeah, for sure. Because visibility equals possibility.
Dem Bois, amplifying, transmitting color voices. Yeah, we here making noise. Yeah, making noise. Dem Bois, Dem Bois.